Hey everybody, Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing. How you doing? I've cleaned up the creature bait section. I've got everything up there on the shelves. So these 4 shelves are fairly organized right now. So now I'm starting over here. So I pulled out everything on that bottom part of that rack. You can see what else is on there. That'll be future videos. But everything that was on that rack is either Craws, different types of Craws, Z-Man stuff, which is there. More Craws. This is more of a flipping bait, flipping craw, and spider jigs. So let me go through the boxes first, and then I'll go through the Z-Man stuff. For you guys that love to flip and pitch like I do, the Pack a Craw is one of my all-time favorites. One of my, I love flipping this bait, especially when you've got nice milfoil beds. Lots of cool colors. Loaded up with your, your favorite flipping stick, your 20-pound line, whatever weight you want. I usually use a 3/8 to a half, depending on how thick the weeds are. Rarely around here do I go over a 3/4 or go up to 3/4. I guess maybe if I was flipping in Florida or somewhere else, I need heavier weight like that, but usually a half will get me into the weeds as much as I want, or if it's around docks or things. Sometimes I'll go 3/8 just because I want a little bit of a slower fall rate. But the Pack a Craw is a great option. This was always one of my favorites here. I lived in New Jersey. This was always a great color back in the Monksville Reservoir. A few Jersey guys who know Monksville Reservoir, this was a great bait to flip on the weeds there. That black with that orange belly. But that's one back of the box of the Pack a Craws. And I believe these are also more Pack a Craws, so show you some more colors. This color here, I think they called it Alabama Craw. This was always my #1. When I would ever throw this, this would be the first one I would try. They're all good, but we all have our favorites. Sometimes that blue sapphire was a good one. Just regular green pumpkin. Put a little orange on those claws. But if you like the darker colors, this might be just straight black here. I didn't really throw the straight black a ton. Black and blue I threw more, but lots of options. So I'm sure the Pack a Craw you can still get. I've got tons of them. These 2 boxes plus lots of bags, so pretty well stocked up on those. This is the Wacky Craw, which is literally the same body. For you guys who go to Wacky Worm in Pennsylvania, they had their own version before I think Pack a Craw kind of put the kibosh on it, if I remember right back in the day. But as you can see, it's pretty much the same bait, same mold. But I had a ton of the Pack a Craws, which is the same bait. And they used to pour their own and sell them up there at Wacky Worm in Pennsylvania. So this is the old Pack a Craw, the old Wacky Craw, which was pretty much the Pack a Craw. And you could get them both there at the same time. So I had a ton, because that was a bait I loved to throw. You can see the different colors there. That white one was great on Pompton Lake back in the day, before they killed all the weeds, which makes no sense, but that's another story. But if you have a nice weedy lake that gets real murky, this white craw, flipping it around is just great. That water's real dingy and dirty. I might take these. I go fish the river maybe soon. If it's still dirty from all the rain we've had, let me bring those with me. Pike will probably like them too. But the Wacky Craw was pretty much the same as the Pack a Craw. Over here I have 3 boxes of different spider jigs. I'm not going to probably be able to remember exactly what brands they are. I'll do my best. But the spider jig is a great bait. Just throw it on a jig head of your choice. A lot of times I'll use a 3/8 ounce jig head, or a 1/2 ounce, depending on how deep I'm fishing. I think these might be the Gag Craws. You guys have seen me talk about these in other videos. Let's see if it usually says it right on the tail. It says Gag Craw on it. I mean, I could be able to see it, but yeah, I believe that says. I don't know what to get. It does say Gag Craw on it. It's going to get all blurry if I get it too close to the camera, but your traditional spider jig. I think the Gag Craw was a 5-inch bait. I've shown you the Gag Craw in other videos. These are just the boxes I have. Whatever jig head you like to use. This is a great bait to drag around the bottom on the rocks. Spring and fall, I don't throw these as much in the summer as I used to. This is more of a spring fall bait for me, but it's a great option, you know. And it's, you know, you guys who like jig tossing, it's like throwing a jig around. And just some different colors there. I think these are all gag craws in this box. Let's see if I can remember what's in the other ones. That was the one I used the most. Northern Bass Supply used to sell those. Another one of my favorites was the Arky version, especially this color, this crawdad color. This was a killer one back in Jersey back in the day. That was one of my favorites right there, and I believe that's the Arky version. Some of these, I think, are just ones I got randomly at outdoor shows over the years. Some of them may be Yamamoto's. I don't know if it says it on the tails of these or not. Some of these may be a mixture here. But when I used to go to the outdoor shows and I would see a spider jig of a color I didn't have, I'd always like to pick it up and try it. And all these colors, that's more that Arky one. It's got all those legs. You can tell the Arky ones. But just some different colors in spider jigs. You can never have enough colors in that. Let's see if we can figure out what's in this one. This might be some chompers in here. And then just some random brands. I think this is an Arky one. It's got all the legs on it. Yeah, that's that Arky version. There you go. Just some different ones. Some chompers in there. I believe these are the chompers up here. A little more distinct. I think that says chompers on the tail. If you can see that. Chompers. If you can see that or not. But yeah, that's definitely a chompers. So the other one is probably more Yamamoto's. None of these look like Yamamoto's. And then just maybe just some random ones I got at a show. Somebody was selling them and I like the colors. So that's just your spider jig box. A few of those. Let's see. And here's just going to be some craws, and I think I got some lizards over here too somewhere. Thought I saw some lizards somewhere. I don't know if they still make this old Madman craw. I remember when this came out. I don't know if that was the late 90s, early 2000s. It was pretty popular. And I got a bunch of them because I like to flip. And I would catch a fish every now and then, and I would think they look great, but I don't know. To me, were never... The way to rig them, I never found the perfect way to rig them. Some guys, I think, threw them like almost put like a tube. I think probably the best way to do it was put like a tube in there, like a tube head, and then run the hook, you know, maybe through the top here. I don't remember how we used to do it. You could just flip them and pitch them. I mean, I can remember guys doing well on these back in the day on Greenwood Lake when they first came out. And they have a lot of cool colors and they look very realistic. But I don't think it ever really took off. You see here, gosh, how long has this been in the box? It's probably going to be rusting the, that's an old football head. That's probably how I did it back in the day. Probably have to sharpen that hook up if I want to throw this again. You can see it's starting to get a little messed up from the metal being on there. But, you know, different sizes of these. This is just I don't know who made these. I remember it had those, had that little keeper on there, so you ran the hook through and you put the end of the hook into that, keep it weedless. I don't remember who made these. That's a different kind. That's not the Madmans. These are Madmans, the watermelon red. So they had a big one, and let's see if I can find it. There was a tiny one. This is that one that had that little keeper. These are probably just something I got at a show. Let's see if I can find the small version. Here we go. They also had the small version. And like I said, I don't know if they still make these Madman Craws. You know, if they are around, I'll put a link to them. Because they're very realistic. You just got to find the right hook for them. I don't think I ever really did and find the right way to hook them. I mean, most guys just did it with the old football head and drag them around. And that's fine. I'm sure that'll work. I'm sure it'll work today. But that's the old Madman Craws. Let's see what this is. Is that Madman Craws or something? That's just those other ones. So what do we got here? I'm going to assume this is the hook that came with those, but I don't remember. I don't remember who made these. These are old. And having the hook laying in there. Let's see if I got one that's rigged up. Okay, here we go. Any of you guys, if this looks familiar to anybody, you can tell me and say, hey, I remember that mark from whenever. But, you know, you can see the discoloration from the lead just of these baits being in there. I guess that tail, that's how it went. And I don't know how this used to work, but that was the setup. I don't know who made these, but obviously with those hooks in there all these years, they get a little messed up being in there all these years. But that's the Madman Craws mostly in there, and then whatever that other one is. Let's see. Okay, let me finish the Craws first before I get onto the lizards. These are just some, there's not going to be any specific names of brands on here. I believe these are Yamamoto's. A nice flipping craw from Yamamoto. A couple colors of that, Yamamoto's. Some Berkeley's. Power Craws, older ones. They may not look like that anymore. I remember buying this. They used to sell these bulk packs at Wacky Worm. I remember getting these because I like the orange claws on them. And it was like a 50 pack for, you know, $10 or something like that. And, you know, half of them the claws were all broken off. But you weren't paying a lot for it when you got it home and went through it. Didn't really matter. But I think a lot of these are like old Berkeley Power Craws. They may not make them like that anymore. Some of these I might have just got at a show because I like the color. I don't remember who made that one. But just some different craws. You could use as trailers or you could flip or pitch. Nowadays, you probably throw them on a Ned. The ones that are smaller. Let's see what's in here. I believe these are Zoom Craws. Yeah, I think that's that Zoom. I forget what they call it exactly, but that's that Zoom. Yeah, is that a Zoom? Yeah, you can see the Zoom on there. But this is a Zoom Craw. These I've actually thrown on a Ned, and they were pretty good. At the time when I bought them, I used them more as a jig trailer. But with this body, with a 3/0 hook, you could flip and pitch these. So very versatile little craw right there from Zoom. So different colors. These are just some random ones with that tube skirt top there. Kind of like a spider jig top. And then the craw bottom. I didn't really throw these much. I remember getting them at a show, I think, one year. I showed you those kid lizard baits. I believe this is their version of a craw that I got back in the day at Mastodon. I'm pretty sure, just based on that color. Looks very much like it. And just some Zoom stuff there. So, some Zoom craws. And last craw box. Let's see what's in there. I believe that's some chigger craws. And I want to say these are gamblers. Oops. But I don't really remember. It doesn't say it on there anywhere, I don't think. Well, maybe it does. Let's see if I can read that. I believe that says Gambler. I don't know if that's going to come out, but I believe that says Gambler. Looks clear on my phone when I'm looking at it, but we'll see if it is when you guys actually see the video. But yeah, some Gambler craws and some chigger craws. But obviously, I always like this color. The chigger craw may be different now. These are like when they first came out, but they probably haven't changed the body much. I think that says Berkeley. I know it's hard to see, but just some chigger craws there. So that is the craws. For you Carolina rig fans out there who like the Carolina rig lizards, here's 3 boxes that you'll probably like a lot. Some different types of Zoom. I believe these are Berkeley, actually. Yeah, Berkeley Power Lizard. That should come out on a video. Berkeley Power Lizard. So some Berkeley Power Lizards. I remember buying these years ago at a show. I don't remember who was making them. For all I know, it could have been the Worm Bar there in Suffern when they had the show there. But I did buy some different colors of their lizards for Carolina rigging. And really, if you guys have not tried it, flipping a lizard around beds in the spring is deadly. So if you haven't tried that, you know, if you've got some finicky bass on beds, try flipping a lizard around it, and you see that sometimes that really gets them, you know, that gets them a little crazy. They think that lizard's trying to get on the bed and, you know, steal their eggs or something. But I believe these are all Zooms. This was the classic Carolina rig bait back in the day, and I'm sure still is now. I'm pretty sure these are all Zooms here. Even though it doesn't say Zoom on it. Maybe they don't say Zoom on their bellies. Let's see. But I'm pretty sure these are Zooms. if I remember right. Well, it's a little blurry. But these watermelons and green pumpkins, they were just like, that was the staple of our Carolina rig fishing we did. I mean, I was never a big Carolina rig guy. I probably did it more the couple days I was up on Champlain than I've done in the last 5 years. But it is in my boat now, because it is that time of year, and it's nice to show the fish something different. I believe these are all zooms. I guess when these came out, these older ones, they didn't put the zoom on the, but I'm almost certain these are different zoom lizards. So there you go. There's a collection of zoom lizards there for Carolina rigging, or just you go flip and pitch them. This is just more lizards, some random ones. I think that's the smaller zoom, I want to say. I don't remember. Oh, can't read that. If that says anything on it, I have no idea what it says. Just the body kind of looks zoom. Oh, yep, that is a zoom. I can see zoom on there. You guys can see zoom on there. So that's the small one, not the big one. And just some different random ones. I remember getting these ones at a show. These might actually be Yamamoto's. I don't remember, but they might be Yamamoto's. They could be some old Yamamoto's. And just some other random ones. Just some random ones. Most of the time, those green pumpkins and those greens, natural colors, were the best ones to go. So I don't see a lot of people Carolina rigging with lizards anymore. A lot of guys I know that Carolina rig use Craws. But there you go. That's the lizard boxes there, the 3 of them. Okay, now the rest of this is all Z-Man stuff. Now, you guys know that when Z-Man and other plastics get together, it's not pretty, especially other soft plastics. Now, when I first got them, I did put them in these boxes, and then I was heard about, oh man, you don't want to mix them with other plastic. I was afraid there was going to be an issue, but just putting them in these Plano boxes, I haven't had any problem with it. Z-Man really got that whole Ned wave of, even though throwing a Ned around has been a long time, Z-Man really jumped on it and came out with their Ned rig, and it's probably the most popular one. Now, granted, I use probably 5 or 6 different brands of Neds, including Z-Mans, even though I haven't thrown Z-Mans in a while, but they're great. It's a little more difficult. You got to work them onto the hook a little bit, but once they get on there, they ain't getting off. And you can catch tons and tons of fish before they finally get, destroyed. And this box here just has some Neds, some of the typical size ones and some of that bigger Ned, that 4-inch size. That's a great color right there, by the way. But there's a little work getting them onto the hook. But once you figure out how to stretch it out the right way, it's easy. You get the hang of it. This is some of those. Z-Man came out with the Shrooms Ned Finesse Jig. It's really just a Ned head with a skirt. I didn't really throw these a ton. It always seemed like I did better just throwing the Ned by itself. But if you guys have never seen these, they're pretty cool. And if you want to show the fish something else, it does have a weed guard. You can throw it around more thicker cover. They are cool. So if you want to just, I think the Ned, when throwing the Ned, the simplest way to go is the best, just with the Ned head. But if you want to try something else, these little Ned Shroom jigs are kind of cool. Plus, it does have the keeper. So if you're throwing around, want to throw a Ned around heavier cover, and maybe have it look a little more crayfishy like with the skirt, try them out. I'm assuming they still make these. These are old. I haven't thrown them in a while, but it is a cool idea. But as I said, I think I've always done better just throwing the Ned as simple as I can. These boxes are more Neds, different colors. I believe these are all the regular size Ned that we all know and love. And just some different colors there to say which one I like the best. I don't know, I think they're all good. For bed fishing, I like these lighter ones. All around, these other ones here. I don't remember what they call it, what these names are. I'm sure I have some of the bags, we'll see the names better, but I forget what all the names are. But these are all good options color-wise for Neds. For you Z-Man fans out there. And last but not least, here's that bigger Ned, which I never have done as well on but I also probably haven't thrown as often either. I'm sure there's a time and place where this is probably the way to go, but I just tend to stick to that smaller size. But if you guys want that bigger size Neds, you know, Z-Man's got plenty of options there. Same colors in the bigger size. Now, let's see if I can remember what's in these bags. Z-Man has these nice carry bags. That's why when you buy your... put it back on the ground, you can see it better. Can't see anything when I put it up on my lap. They have these nice carry bags, and you wonder why their packaging comes with those little holes on the bottom. That's so you can put them in the bags they make and keep your stuff organized. So let's see what I got here. I haven't opened these in a while. That's the Crawdad Z. I probably got that because I like that color, green pumpkin orange. You can't go wrong. So it's a Crawdad. I'm not going to take all these out of the pack. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this better. All right, that might work. Get it up on my lap here and see a little better. Here's the TRD minnows, which is a nice... I have used these on Ned heads. I've used them as drop shotting baits. Any way you want to do it, it's a nice option to show them a little different. Get maybe with more of that minnow look. And there's that smelt color, which is good. Pearl blue glimmer. Beak dog. There's a June bug color. So that minnows bait is kind of a cool option on your Ned heads, on your drop shots, however you want to fish them. The Canada Craws is a great color. The California Craws is also very good. Bad shad. I haven't thrown these this year yet. Hot snakes I was like. But that's what's in here. And they have these little packs too on the side that you can just slide stuff into. So that pack there probably didn't have the little holes in it, so I stuck it in there. Hopefully that's not, camera's not too close to that. It doesn't look... All right, let's see. It's probably better just showing you these on the floor. I'll do that with the big bags. Well, let's see what we got here. This looks more like more Neds to me. Oops. Some different Ned heads. Power Finesse Shroom. Jig heads. And what's that one? That's the Netlock one. That's like their heavier duty one. Z-Man. 1/6. All right, let's see what kind of colors we got here. See if I can show you this without it getting too close to the camera. All right. The TRD Tickler Z's. This is the Ned that has like that. Let's see if we get a good picture of without having to take them out of the bag. It has that tail. Almost like that tube-like tail there. So if you want to add a little action to the back of your Neds, Nature's Craw is a great color, by the way. The Tickler Z is a good option. And I'm assuming they're still making all these. I can't imagine there's any Z-Man Ned type bait that is not still popular. The Copper Truce is a great color. Good bed color right there if you're bed fishing or your water's real stained. Good old green pumpkin orange. Cannot go wrong with that. One of my favorite colors. Purple Death. Nice happy name. Houdini is a nice color. The Deal is always a good one. You guys see that on the regular Ned. Let's see. That Bubble Gut. That's kind of a cool color. I haven't thrown that one a lot. And traditional green pumpkin. Cannot go wrong with that. Hot Snake, as I said before, is a cool color. There's that Mood Ring color. And Smelt, which is good. And just Pearl White. So if you want your Ned with a little more action to it. Let's see if I can get one of these open and show it to you if you haven't seen these before. I'm trying to do this with one hand, so hold the camera with the other. Oop, that's not working out. All right. Sorry for that. All right. So there's your traditional Ned body, but now you've got like your... Get that to focus in. So hopefully that's not blurry. It's got that tube-like bottom. And when these came out, I thought they were kind of a cool idea, and I threw them a bit, but I always seem to just do better on the regular Ned. Not that if I didn't, dedicate my day to these, they wouldn't be good too. I'm sure they're fine, And some people may like these better, just to show them something different. But there's those nice carry bags that Z-Man comes out with. All right, the big bags are going to stay on the ground. So I'll just bend over here and show it to you. These are probably loaded up with Neds, if I remember correctly. All right, let's see what we got. All right, Obviously, a lot of Ned hooks in those little places. These are all Velcroed in. You just slide your stuff in there. Keep your hooks right with your weights. It's a good idea. All right, let's go this right side first. The Hog Z is like their Ned Hog, Craw version. You guys, I'm sure, have seen them. Yoga pants color is great. More Hog Z's, different colors, PB and J. Now here's your TRDs. Delta Green Pumpkin, so here's just your regular TRDs. And I think I probably have them organized in their colors. These are the ones I just left in the bags. The Deal, California Craw, there's a June Bug, more June Bugs, more Deals, and then more hooks back there. Let's see what this side is. I'm going to assume this is TRDs. Hot Snakes. I would kind of go through spells where, like, Perfect Perch was my favorite one. And then Hot Snakes would be my perfect one for a week or two. I mean, when these first came out, I think probably the only bait the fish were seeing on the lakes were TRDs. Yoga Pants became my favorite for a while. Green Pumpkin Goby is a nice one. Mood Ring is a nice. If you want that purple, the Twilight. All good colors. Bubble Gut. Meat Dog. Another Meat Dog. That smelt was always good up on my mom's lake in Sagadaga. Let's see. Hot Craw. Goby Bryant. Cool name. More hooks. More hooks. Lots of Ned heads. So, there's your Z-Man. Now, you could, if you want to just throw Neds all day, load one of those up with your hooks and your baits, and you don't need to bring anything else. Bring that in a couple of rods. A couple of spinning rods. What else you need? And the last one. Let's see what's in here. All right. Obviously, a whole bunch of different types of... Those are weedless hook. They're different shroom hooks. Like before, let me start from the right. This is their Craw Z, which is another Craw Ned version. Nice bait. Did well on those when they first came out. Some Green Pumpkins, Drew's Craw. They have the same colors, I believe. Maybe a couple different options here and there. There's that Mud Bug color. Molting Craw. I like that Molting Craw. I always like that one. Watermelon Red. The Deal. Bloodworm color. That Delta Green Pumpkin. The Black Blue. That's an interesting name. Greasy Prawn. I don't remember that one. Canada Craw and the California Craw. And some different hooks. Some of the bigger, longer hooks. All right. And let's see what's on the left side here. That'll be it. So if you're a Z-Man fan, you're probably loving this. There's that hula, the Hula Stick Z, which is kind of like a, just a worm, drop shot bait, however you want to throw it. I haven't thrown them a lot. You can throw them on your Ned heads. Pretty much anything you want to do with that bait. It's pretty versatile. Just a little bigger bait. The Fatty Z, Green Pumpkin Blue, just a worm. There's some of their tubes, some of their turbo craws. I don't know if they make all these still. This is their trick shots. This is their bait that's made, for drop shotting in some different colors. The Streak Z was like a minnow bait, like a fluke type bait, if I remember right. So many different types. And what they make still of these, I'm not sure. I haven't bought any new Z-Man stuff in so long because I have so much of it, as you can see. A lot of these I think I had as drop shot baits. The Swim Z, the Bug Z is more of like a creature bait. But it's only, let's say on there, it's only 2.75 inches, so really it's a Ned bait, pretty much. They're pretty much can all be thrown on Ned heads. Vermont Field Sports, nice store over in Vermont. But that's it, guys. That's like the massive collection of Z-Man stuff that I have here. Get this camera straightened out. So, lots of different options from Z-Man. Those bags are really cool if you want to just keep your Z-Man stuff in them. And, putting them in these boxes, I was afraid they were all going to stick together and be no good, but they worked out okay. I tend to use those first just to get them out of the boxes, and I can use the boxes for something else. But that's it, guys. So that's another section of the bait room setup. I showed you all my Z-Man stuff. And over here, piled up, is the lizards, the Craws, different Craws I've had, and the spider jigs. And I believe that's it. Yep, and the pack of Craws. So that's it. So that's that section. Next section there is going to be a little more specific to brand name, because I'm not sure on the end there, but I'm pretty much sure that's all Berkley stuff and Power Team Lures stuff. So if you like Power Team Lures, if you like Berkley soft plastics, you'll enjoy that next part of my bait room setup. So that's it for now. I will see you guys soon on YouTube. Appreciate all the support, everybody watching and commenting. I appreciate it. As I've said in the past, if there's any bait I've shown you and I went too fast and you'd like to see more of it, just let me know. I have no problem doing a video on a specific bait. I'm always looking for ideas on baits or on videos, so I appreciate the input from everybody at all times. And you know, please, you know, like, share, and subscribe. I'm almost to 1,000. I think I'm like at almost 280 something, so it's getting there. So I'm hoping in another couple weeks to hit that 1,000 mark finally, and then move on from there. Okay. So once again, I appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon on YouTube. Mark out.